You boys ever be watching a movie and then you get upset about how criminally unrated the movie is? The movie I'm talking about is called They Look Like People. Now, I love suggesting movies, but I've actually never suggested this movie even though I love this movie. The reason is because my family doesn't like horror movies because they only watch shitty ones. They also don't like slow burns, and my friends don't even watch movies. Now, if you don't like slow burns, I suggest you fuck off. No, this definitely isn't a movie for you if you don't like slow burns. It's also really subtle, so if you don't like movies that like spoon feed you everything, I wouldn't suggest this movie for you. So warning, this movie isn't for everyone. Now, I'm not a reviewer, and I feel like the less I talk about this movie, the better experience it is. But I will give you my thoughts in the IMDb synopsis. Suspecting that people around him are turning into evil creatures, a troubled man questions whether to protect his only friend from impending war or himself. Now, that probably sounds fucking dumb, and I get it, it does. Again, the less I explain about this movie, the better it is. But the movie has a lot of meaning than just this guy thinks evil creatures are gonna take over the world. I can't really say more without spoiling the movie, but when I saw this movie, I didn't read anything about it, and I didn't feel like that's all the movie was, because it's not. That's where I'm gonna leave that, but to get technical about the movie, this is shot and directed quite well. To compare this movie to any other director, I'd have to say like Darren Aronofsky. This movie actually has a lot of Requiem for a Dream shots, but in like Perry Blackshear's style, which is awesome because he didn't just rip off Darren. There's one shot I really like where the main three are sitting in a couple of chairs behind a blank wall, and you see a bunch of cuts of them slowly getting bored and doing random shit, and it kind of just like shows their personality without kind of explaining it to you. And they do this a couple times with a couple other scenes where they just like, they get one scene and they make it feel like 10. And this could have been longer than an hour, but the director wanted to cut all the filler and get right to the point, which like really helped the movie because it is a slow burn like I said, but it doesn't really feel like one. This movie could have easily been 2 hours by, let's say, like another director would have made it, and he could have made it like a bunch of fucking like talking sequences, which would have been annoying, but thank God this guy didn't add that. And surprisingly, for a slow burn, subtle horror movie, this actually has some pretty good scares. And something I didn't notice when I first saw this movie was that there isn't a score. There's no music at all. And like that's crazy because I saw an entire fucking movie and didn't even notice that it didn't have music or a score, if you want to get technical. And that's pretty ballsy for a slow burn, but the sound effects definitely did help set a creepy tone for the movie, and so did the visuals and all that. I suggest watching this movie with headphones. I learned it's a whole different experience. There's also especially one scene that's like you kind of have to have headphones on to kind of like understand what they're saying, and it's a lot different. So yeah, I suggest watching this movie with headphones, and I normally don't do that because I think it's better to have like surround sound and like be immersed, whatever, all that shit. But honestly, this movie sounds a lot better with headphones. Anyway, it's a good movie, and I'm really excited to see his next movie. I looked it up, and there's no information on it except that it's the main 3 people from this movie, but it's not a sequel, it's a whole different other movie, and for some reason it's black and white, which is pretty interesting. This isn't a review, I'm just saying go watch the movie. I'm telling you why I liked it. If you plan on watching it, don't watch any other reviews. Everyone has that one friend with Netflix, so check it out for yourself. Again, it's not for everyone, so don't get mad when there isn't a false jump scare every 5 minutes.